Hello, everybody. Welcome along to our Hindsight Podcast Studios. I am UB, and so in doing of it, alongside and returning from international break is TikTok favorite and everyone's favorite punter, Mr. Inyoba Monday. Next up, Twitter sweetheart and now double award-winning podcaster, Mr. IBK Sports. And last but not the least, the man who's now gone all-tay and rocking the big pants, Mr. Olakunle Rufai. People, this episode of the Hindsight Podcast is brought to you by Gigawin, a crypto-based gaming platform in Africa. Gentlemen, good to see everyone here on the podcast. Great to see you all. After international break, I like the jersey. Is that Balenciaga or something like that?
My person give me. I don't even know if now.
I know it's Balenciaga to make jersey.
I don't even,
it's not a jersey actually. It's a shirt.
I think it's just a sports. Let's say a sportswear or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it looks good though.
Yeah,
it looks good. But
like it very much.
The original go cost.
Like
it go cost. I don't say good. They crazy.
Like it very much. I don't know if you've seen the.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't know if you saw the.
No, you can't just preach past that. That's a banger.
You know why?
No, when you wear this and that, come here. I know criticize them. Why?
It's not that no strike, you make I
You go tell me if now Adidas store, you go punish you. You go tell
man.
who you want shake. You say no be original, no
know.
wala.
Original will
No,
cost.
just the original will
The
cost.
way you just
But this
talk,
one makes sense.
I don't understand that. I just think just
But I mean,
pop.
check the texture of
The
the
thing won't fly past my head.
Forget. They sell better material for that. Don't they draw those ones? They check the texture. Don't worry.
You can just allow make it pass.
You get. I'll carry you go tell you show just now. You go collect stock material. You go sew anything where you
You
like.
can just allow me pass. You can just allow me pass.
Yeah, pass time, bro.
Oh man.
Nice.
So I feel like I don't know if you've seen
Luckily,
the. I don't know if you've seen the.
Neo.
As in 1-0, man. I don't know if you've seen
Long range
the.
effort.
I've been listening to Fino's new album,
Yeah.
right? Apparently, Hush Puppy had a very good intro.
How did that happen, though?
I'll be honest. I didn't know how to feel about it. So when I started seeing it online, I haven't listened to the album. So I started seeing it online. But the intro like started playing. I couldn't because I didn't know how to feel about
Yeah.
it, and I did not want to criticize
Yeah, of course.
somebody
so
just
that you
putting
not
in
be tagged
work
a hater.
and doing their and putting out like
Creative
an
work,
album
yeah.
because that's it's a lot of work. So I didn't want to criticize it. So I just leave them. I don't listen to the voice note. I don't listen to anything. Where I be here, it's a very good one. I'm like,
I think
how can it be a
that
good one?
song on its own, that track is a throwback Fino. Like it almost feels like when the grip on the East one lose, which you can never lose anyways, you can just tighten and back. Like now that's kind
That album,
very Igbo.
Yeah, I be hearing the album is
Eastern
very
vibes,
good.
man.
Yeah, that album.
December lockdown, like
Lockdown.
locked.
That's
you
how-
know,
I
but
be hearing it's very good.
speaking of the Hush Puppy parts, right? I think this is. I mean, I've not thought about it, but just speaking about it now is just how. First of all, it was to bury the hatchet. You know, Hush and Fino had it back and
Yeah.
Oh,
back and
yeah,
forth.
they
That time
did,
where
they
at the
did,
time,
yeah,
so-
they did.
so
So
that
that
is the
arrest
first-
them. People go meet
They
Finos,
did, yeah,
finally,
they
say
did.
this guy.
So that's
really-
the first thing, and I think it's important
Oh,
in
it
life
makes sense
to.
now.
It's important in life to to shake hands.
And
You
the guy
understand?
say,
And move
as
forward.
Hush Puppy done the near release back now. So in the reason say,
But it was good advice.
how many
It-
years
like,
they give himself?
forget the fact it was Hush Puppy giving the advice. It was good advice. Don't. I think he said something along the lines of when your time come, you get everybody will congratulate you. Don't run your race on other people's time, and he would know. And he would know. So that was that was quite special. That was quite special. I tell you what. But I just wonder why people they always find Una on a normal like when I was just day. People would just find Una go because I was
Just do.
you guys just like what do you guys do to people that people just look for you guys, right?
What do you
Because
guys?
because I'm just there and somebody
Do
sends
what?
me and by you guys I mean hindsight podcast,
I
right?
know, don't mind me.
Someone sends me a tweet and somebody's calling you out saying you guys did bad work. And I was just wondering, why do people feel like you guys play in the same space as them? Because I think that should have been quite clear after these many years that this Rufai gentleman, Ini, IBK Sports, don't play in the same space as these people. And guess what? They don't want to play in the same space as you.
I think it's spot
Right.
on. I think it's
I
spot
don't
on.
know why people feel like
You know why
people feel like we're in the same
You know why
vehicle.
that is spot on, right? I remember early days, talking football on radio, talking sports generally, a few appearances on TV. And because I started hosting events,
multiple actually.
yeah,
Major tournaments.
I started hosting events before I even got on radio. So I would have events where it would be a sports event, it would be a football event. I say, oh, we just need you to come and, anchor it, why the game is going on, we need you to do. commentary, da 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 da. But I knew for a fact I don't want to be a commentator. You would never see me.
Yeah.
You would never see me go and take a commentary gig. Say, oh, there's a game going on, the MPFL, Nigerian game. I don't put myself
I mean, I only
in the reckoning.
This score.
No, even like I never put myself in the reckoning for those things. It's not my business. Like I don't want to be there. They are blocking other things. My only business, I want to make money.
I said that because I know that personally, Rufai doesn't want to be in that space,
Yep.
right? And I think it comes from the conception that maybe people think that we like what they do. I don't want to do what you do. I don't like what you do, right? I don't think
it's not. I don't like what you do. I don't. You know they say, oh, maybe you're talking down on their job. That's not what that means. It means I don't want to. I don't do what you do, and I don't want to do it. I'm not interested in it. I have other interests. You can do you, but make no mistake, because I am in this game as well. I know football, and I'm in the media space. The fact that I don't want to be a commentator does not mean I don't know what I should look for in a good commentator.
Take for example, right? This guy here, is probably. I don't think it is possible. I don't think he has a bad show in him, right? Even if he wanted to do a bad show, I don't think he has a bad show in him, just by the sheer, know-how, the courage, the expertise. So to think that someone would listen to some audibles, right, and immediately think that, oh, this is someone from the Hindsight Podcast. He is the best pundit in this country. I'm not even trying to be. I'm not trying to patronize any. Literally. No.
So sorry.
It is the best pundit in the country.
Only
you understand? And that is the only thing he doesn't have on his resume is because he didn't play football.
Calm down. I'm don't cry. Calm down.
No. I'm serious.
See, let me tell you, I totally agree with what you're saying. I didn't even know it was a pundit route you wanted to go. But actually, there's nobody. Because
I encourage show me one.
If I don't say he's the best, right? I don't see anybody that's better than him. That's one. And when you say better, you see immediately you say that, people immediately get defensive and they start going, does he know what happened in the 19 Kinikon? Does he know? Yeah. First of all, sit down and listen. In terms of, you will not find delivery. Show me who's better than him. And it doesn't matter what you know in your head. Delivering it, this job is all about delivering it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you can't deliver what you know in your head, you are not good at this job.
Of course.
You just sabi football. This job is not for you.
They're two different things.
They're two different things.
Right?
You can know all these things in your head, but if you cannot deliver it the way it should be done, you are not. This is not the job for you. So I don't find anybody that's better than him. In doing that.
And what is worse is, when somebody now takes you up on it and says, that's not any of my team members.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to
have the graciousness to say, guys, sorry, because
again, I thought it was.
And
it's not that deep. Oh, you can think it was this person.
And honestly,
it's not that.
It is not that deep, right?
Now that you know that it's not this person,
right?
So
IBK is the Twitter influencer, right? And this is interesting because IBK makes good money from Twitter influencing. Mm-hmm. You understand? That you would never hear about.
Show love.
You understand? You will send my invoice. But Rufai, again, Rufai is probably one of the most dynamic people in terms of, has hands in music, has his hands in streaming, all this kind of stuff.
You know, get what
in
A&R,
people they also for this.
Not to thief.
So
they also for this table.
And I like to think my voice is unique enough to pick from a mile away. Do you understand? So I just
exactly.
You understand?
Like if I hear you, do you know how many people have spoken to me? Actually, a lot of people have spoken to me and say, how far now? When I get show on top, so I they hear you be now, like legit, like people have buzz me on WhatsApp. Say I just listen to your guy now. When I get show on top, platform, I'm like, no, UB has a show. Like you can anywhere if you've listened to UB before, you know that's his voice.
So when I
miss it.
When I saw that tweet, I feel that it was very disrespectful, to be honest, because in the end, it's just the same thing we talked about this Libya thing and the rest. That you don't know your facts, and you came direct.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to talk to Inida. How far? Who they on that show?
Yeah, I did too.
And Ineba mentioned their names. I don't want to mention the names.
Of course, why would you mention their names?
No, those
But
persons
again,
they
it's not that
drag.
deep. I just want
It's not that deep. It's a very light-hearted, you know.
No, see, UB, it is deep because
And
IBK,
I
I understand.
Abike,
calm down.
Abike,
Mona,
I know
what I did.
Abike,
no, Abike,
It is deep because
No,
wait, calm down.
I
You
have
cannot-
to read it because I started
out
right?
of nowhere, you just came out to say, "Oh, now one of those
So-
podcast guys."
So it's fine, and
It's okay, my guy.
and that's fine, right? And I
And I
didn't
know
want
in your bunk for
IBK is
someone
okay.
that
IBK is fine.
if in your bunk they do
IBK
show,
is okay
IBK is fine.
now.
And-
you don't praise in your bunk. Make I
Right.
praise my
No,
own.
no.
IBK, we
Let's-
have to move on.
Let's pick up the
Yeah,
pace,
man,
right?
no worry. When would it go?
And-
I go praise you.
And,
Don't worry.
and by the way, again,
I don't know why people think maybe we have some malicious
you know.
intention.
It's
Bro,
what it
like
is. It's
I'm
what it is.
chilling, man. I don't know
Guy.
anybody. I don't want anybody to know
Like
me.
I promise you, all these guys are
I come
cruising.
here, I do
As
my
in,
show. I
bro,
promise you, I
I
don't
promise
want
you, all these
anybody
guys-
to know me, my guy.
all these guys are cruising and having a great time.
In this country, you know, in this country, because if you was it last year or year before, Fabrizio Romano, the great guy, you know, he got called out by one English journalist.
Yeah.
You know, they called him tapping merchant. You know that he was,
Yeah,
Tap those
you know,
news.
he would lift their stories and not give them credit.
yeah.
You know, he was very gracious. You know, he now when he posts his stories, he gives them
He gives
credit.
credits,
You
yes.
know, this story came from this guy, but you know, I don't think he took it personal
At all.
You know, he didn't take it personal, and it's a business where, you know, once in a while we can help out each other. We can help ourselves. If you see someone is getting out of line, you know, you can put them back in line. And there's nothing personal about it, you know. So, you know, sometimes I just feel like there's a war in the industry. That's what it feels like. Like, you know, somebody calling out the other person. It feels like, oh,
know.
I'm trying to degrade the guy.
And it's funny because I saw a story about it was Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, and Michael Richards, right? And Michael Richards was like, they were joking about Gary Lineker's new contract, and Michael Richards said, "Look, I'm 4-1. I'm 4-1 on the odds to replace you as you know, lead presenter for Match of the Day," and it was just a humorous, you know. And I just realized that
Alan Shearer said, I'm not renewing my contract if you get the job.
Like no.
and these are
There's
serious
no
conversations
you get
that are being made.
for
by
here
those.
like this.
Nah,
You
you
don't
don't-
turn.
you don't-
You're
yeah,
talking down on.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
demarketing. Get the hell out
It
of
doesn't
here.
need to, it's not that deep.
Forward this
All these guys are
country.
cruising, and
honest,
look, in
to
the
be
end, that's
honest.
just what it is. Anyway, I see we have the, you know, the interesting logos in the building. So shout outs to Gigawin for coming through on the pod, reached out to us, and it is important to do great work. So we're looking forward to seeing how all of this plays out over the month or thereabouts. And we're delighted to announce to our people that Gigawin are the sponsors of this episode of the Hindsight Podcast. Gentlemen, let's start off with this international news of Thomas Tuchel. And why I want to start off with this is
Brilliant.
in the last 48 hours, I have seen a conversation that has started about, because players represent one country, managers, you know, should represent the countries that they have the passports, you know. And I was just thinking about it, like, you know, I haven't quite been able to wrap my head around it, which is why I was going to ask you guys about it. Where are you on the idea of managers managing the countries they come from? So, for example, of course, you know, France are in line because they have the Champs, you know, Spain,
Yeah.
you know, with you know,
De La Fuente.
with De La Fuente. I always mistake his name with Del Bosque. Is that something that could upset because international football is different from club football?
Yeah, but I think it's a good argument, and that would mean, because I feel I'm thinking developmental, because if that is enforced, it would allow countries to develop their coaches more. It will give the opportunity for countries, because it always feels like, and I'm talking the relatively smaller countries, you know, because the particularly from an African perspective, you know, you always see Africans always feel like we can get this quick fix done. You know, we can get a manager to come in, win matches for us, you know. But if that is enforced, it would mean that countries have to develop their coaches to the standard and the level of, you know, taking in the national team job. So I think it's a good argument. It's not something that will work. It won't happen. I think it won't happen because these guys are individuals, so they should have the right to work in any place. They should have the right to work in any country. But it's a brilliant argument to have in terms of development. But I'm not sure it's going to
So
happen.
what I think can happen, sorry, Rufai, is I do think, he makes a good point in terms of developmental, because when you, for example, think about the development of smaller countries, quote unquote, in according to football, in football terms, there's such an influence a guy like Jose Mourinho can have on Nigerian football if you allow him the time to work and stuff like that. I think, however, there should be a time limit on. With new ideas, I think it is important for everyone to not be defensive, first of all, to not be rigid, and to be open to exploring different possibilities.
Yeah.
My top of my head, I just think you should have, let's say Tuchel, if Tuchel wants to work in Africa, for example, should work as director of sporting director of the national team or technical director, something like that, right? To set what the best standard is, right? Because again, if you say X person who is not worked to the highest level should be technical director, then he's setting the standards to the level he is aware of. But that level he's aware of and his ceiling might be the baseline for best practice.
Yeah.
So I think that
very good point.
If you say Tuchel, I think the English manager should be an English, because the money, it should be commensurate to the money spent by the FA. So England as a country has a lot of money. The football pyramid is strong enough for an Englishman to be the coach. I think this argument holds for smaller countries. So, for example, if Pep Guardiola comes to Africa, it's a big win for any African country who gets him. I do think that he should be coached for maybe 1 year, or even if he's not coach, should be technical director, responsible for setting the parameters on how the football structure of the country should operate.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, because you're representing your country, I think I want to lean towards the idea that the managers should be of the country's descent.
So I think for me, I think there are different angles to the conversation. There are a lot of things involved. For example, if you say Tuchel comes in as a manager, the English guys are saying no, it shouldn't work this way. Probably thinking we go to the World Cup, we play against Germany. It looks like we can't trust him. Is it a case of espionage? Is it a case of espionage?
No, of course, you can trust
Is it a
him.
mole?
No,
I'm just saying.
Hold on, you can trust him. But I always find it very funny.
It's important because
Bro,
I saw something at the
right.
Euros. Which country? What was it? Belgium. Did Belgium play Portugal?
At the Euros?
It was at the World Cup.
No, because there's a country I saw, and the guy who is not from that country was singing the national anthem. It was Roberto Martinez. He was singing the national anthem of Portugal. And I was wondering why. You're Spanish.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I mean, what is happening? Are you trying to shift base or something? Because Portugal and Spain are very...
So of course. Iberian speaking countries. So professionally, right, he's going to sing the anthem of the country.
He's currently representing.
However, I think we have to. That's why I said we have to not be defensive. First of all, the truth of the matter is that the blood is thicker than water. Do you understand?
So you see where I'm going.
And even with the best professionals, and I'm not saying there's any foul play, but something in you at some point in time in the preparation, maybe not in 90 minutes, in the lead up to the game, will just think, that is my country.
I remember what I wanted to talk about. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank was assistant coach to Gareth Southgate. At the semi-finals of the Euros, Southgate, England played in Netherlands. Yeah. So I was looking at him, I was telling my wife, this guy is from Netherlands, what is going through his head? Genuinely, does he really want England to win this match?
So professionally, he wants England to win.
Yeah.
But we are human beings. And
so in my opinion...
He wouldn't mind.
You don't pay me like that.
So in my opinion, right? In my opinion, I think even if there's no... Even if, for example, Tuchel doesn't compromise or any of his assistants or whatever, if they don't do anything like that, the fact that English people might not trust him completely is a problem. In terms of if anything happens, in their mind, they're thinking what Yubi just said. Oh, what if he has done this? What if he has done that? I think that's a problem. But I think the flip side of that conversation is the England national team have been struggling with English managers. They haven't done anything good with English managers. Why is it that you now have a lot of brilliant coaches with in Spain, in Spain especially, but you don't have enough of them in England. And I saw something online that felt quite interesting. The UEFA Pro license cost about €2,000 in Spain. In England, it's between 12 to 15,000 pounds. So automatically, the number of people,
disenfranchisement.
exactly, the number of people. So you see, even though England are way ahead of us in Nigeria, for example, the problem is similar in the sense that you have a lot of people who don't have access to that elite coaching, even in England, because of the cost.
Yeah.
Here, you have a lot of people who don't have access
Yeah.
to this coaching processes
Because of the cost.
and other things. You know, logistics, ineptitude of the federation, whatever, but they don't have access. So it's the same thing. So in that regard, automatically there is a chance, the probability is higher that you're going to have better coaches who are not English.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
To come in and be and coach, and that's where they are now because they're struggling with English managers.
You're right. I also
okay.
think in the age of geopolitics, with the war between Russia and Ukraine, who else is Israel and co. Countries are finding some coffee and stuff. Countries are finding that the so-called peace treaties and accords that were signed years ago are now being tested at scale.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, Russia don't trust some guys in Europe, right? And it so happens that a German is the Russian Russian national team manager, right?
That will never happen.
Something happens.
And it's the final.
That will never happen.
That will never happen.
that it works.
That is the final.
He's German. He's the coach
You
of
understand?
Russia.
It will never happen.
It will never happen.
Or
Never.
a Russian guy so happens to be the coach of the English national team.
Of the American national
the American
team.
national
It will
team.
never happen.
And they get to semi-final.
It will never happen.
You know the KSB.
Problem go do.
You know the KSB go on call and say, okay, you know that your family live here.
Yes. You know that if you don't do a job for us, you are not coming back here.
No. We don't involve sins, but you know this one. We spent
Yes.
$12 million,
So-
billion pounds.
So that's where-
But you know the funny thing, we've seen. I think it's very unfair to managers because we've seen players, change their allegiance, and you see player who has played maybe probably 2-3 games
Yeah, I
for
agree.
Spain, and maybe he gets a chance in play for Italy.
But
and
that's because there's dual.
passports.
There's dual. They have that.
They have that
heritage.
passport.
This man is true. Is German, true and true.
Mm.
He cannot come tomorrow and say, "Oh, it be like say my great grandfather." They say I have
Yeah.
a percent. He can't. He's 100% true and true. He's German. Now, I don't have a.
But,
I
but-
agree
but
with you because
still-
I don't
but
have a
you
problem
still-
with it.
But you still have to trust the player, right?
Yep.
Despite him, maybe he has played.
Yeah,
one
you
or two
do.
games
Yeah,
for
you
Spain.
do. You do.
So it's still the same thing. Like I see this funny English players and
yeah.
the rest. You've seen players like Saka, who probably the best English player now. He should have been playing for Nigeria.
On the
But
lighter note, don't worry. Saka will not
But
betray
you love
England
the
for
fact that
us.
he's playing for England.
He won't.
He won't betray England
No,
for
that's
us.
no. You don't have. You don't,
Saka is
that's what I'm
English.
saying. That you don't have. You don't have issues.
There are two
you
different
don't have
things.
issues with Saka playing for England.
I
Yeah.
grew
You
up-
don't have
I
issues
grew
with
up
all
in-
these players playing for England. But you don't have issues with a German coach.
See, let me make my position
It's
clear.
just
Let me
very-
make my position clear. I don't have a problem with it, honestly. As a matter of fact, I think that the immediate coverage of it, as usual, from the English press,
It's
is
ridiculous.
nothing but a disgrace.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's an absolute
It's quite
disgrace.
ridiculous.
I've seen, and I don't want to mention that. Anyway, I've seen platforms where they've come out and say, "Oh, his turbulent marriage." I'm like, immediately, just now, we're already doing articles about his marriage. About his
because
what
the English media clearly were trying to force Eddie Howe on
the
the federation.
Yeah.
They were trying to force Eddie Howe, but Ligt
And
said,
this guy, and if they say
Gvardiol.
Potter don't go well for
Yeah,
Chelsea.
Potter.
They
Yeah,
were
Potter,
really
yeah.
pushing
Yeah.
for Potter for the
they
English
pushed
league.
Potter. Now, but Ligt said that these employers were very clear with him that they wanted the next manager to be a manager who is experienced and
Yeah.
has won trophies.
Trophies, yeah.
Yeah.
And the minute you mention trophies, that eliminates Eddie Howe
Yeah.
and Potter out of the
It
equation.
eliminates them.
So they were very clear on what they wanted. They wanted a manager who has won trophies, who understand what it means to win trophies. Because they are at that point where they feel like they need one step. And
We're not trying to build again.
They're not trying to build.
They're not trying to build
They
again.
just want
That's
the
where
guy who can
Southgate
take
has done
them
a fairly good job.
over the finish line. And Tuchel mentioned it that the goal is to win the World Cup in 2026.
And I think,
albeit subtly.
and I think that in that regard, I think it is the right appointment.
Of course.
That regard, because
So I mean, this conversation is not even about
right, yeah.
So I mean, you see the direction we always take on the show, and it's not about is it a good manager? That's not like
No.
We're thinking, this is dynamic of international management. Could this be the future? Is there something in this conversation to be had? And where is it coming from?
And it's frustrating. And not to digress, but something a bit similar. I grew up in Uyo.
Yeah.
And
Me too.
The football club Aqua United stalled for many years. We're flirting between championship, NNL, and the top flight. You know why? Because the locals always wanted only Akwa Ibom-born players to play. And as good as I think a lot of players are in Akwa Ibom, you have not played at this level before. And for you to sustain yourself in the MPFL, you need experienced players. You need players who are playing the MPFL for 1 year or 2, 3, 4 years.
Who know all the tacticals?
When Paul Bassi came, he said, no, we can't do it like this. We have to get foreigners in. There was a time they did a Roman Abramovich. They were buying expensive players and it didn't quite work. But they had to be a blend of, local lads who were very good and a few experienced players.
Yeah.
And Aqua United won the league a few years later.
Yeah.
So sometimes, it's very hard. It's very hard for the local players, from Jude Bellingham. I don't say they didn't trust Gareth Southgate, but when you play for a manager who has won something, you have the experience of winning something. You play for a manager who has won a lot of trophies or who has won a few trophies here and there. There's always a belief that this guy can help take us to...
No doubt, there's one or two
subconscious thoughts coming. When in the most high pressure moments in your life, right, you revert to type.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason I said that is because, I've heard a story where goalkeepers study players where they kick their penalties to, because if the scoreline is 3-0, right? For example, when Maduke and Co are, struggling for the ball,
you had to go there.
couple of weeks, ago, they're struggling for the ball. The game scoreline is 3-0 or something like that. When it's 1-0, I promise you,
nobody's struggling for exactly what I said.
Nobody's struggling for that.
Nobody's struggling for it now.
So,
everybody just left.
And just the point he's making is, when the game is on a knife edge, it's 0-0 or it's 1-0 in its Champions League final, in a World Cup final, and you look at the touchline, you see Tuchel, right? Your subconscious is he has won. So I'm going to trust that he says stay in this position now.
Yeah.
And I think
it's different if I turn and Southgate. I'm sorry, with all due respect.
Yeah, he did a brilliant job, but
you might eventually do what he's saying, but just that extra bit of doubt in your mind, like
I think also it's where they say when you call somebody a professional or when you call someone they are very good at their job, they didn't just get that from birth. You build it up.
Yep.
The same way you build confidence, the same way you build your personality, and all that, your portfolio. If you have won before, there is confidence in your own decisions. If you've never won, you are making your decisions. You are guessing. Sometimes you might be, especially when the stakes are really really high. So you might not even trust your own. But when you have won, you have more confidence in your own decisions.
Yeah.
You can
winning breeds confidence.
You can make decisions and just go.
I was telling someone just to go to club football for a moment. I said, Arteta has the biggest job this season in England. He has the most difficult job this season because he's at that stage where those young players need to have a medal around their neck. He's at that stage where whatever he's going to do, he has to get them a medal this season. Because those players can become extremely so good with a medal around their neck.
Yep.
They can become
unlock
different level
levels of beast mode
with a medal around their neck.
Yeah.
But as long as they don't have a medal around their neck,
Baba talk the medal, which is in our Premier League.
Medal. No worry. Even in
It
academic
is a step up.
You see that medal, talk the
Easy.
Come here, there.
Easy traffic for toll gates. He passed alternative routes.
I go need restraint.
Is it that medal? Talk the medal, which one be?
Which is it?
About that problem.
You know,
No, but it's a really good conversation.
Yeah, really
right?
good conversation.
And it's funny because I think it was IBK mentioned about I think IBK mentioned about Saka being the best player in the English national team, and we're gonna start there. Ultimately, I've been seeing this conversation gathering a bit of momentum, and I personally tweeted and said, look, I think this kid is the best attacker in the Premier League, right? And I've never been a fan of saying this is the best player in the world. I don't think it makes sense. It's a team sport, right?
Yeah.
Tennis players can say, I'm the best tennis player in the world,
Yeah, of course.
right? That has to be said.
but some kind moves. We
Swimmers can say,
You
I'm
no
the
go do
best
am
swimmer in the
alone.
world.
Yeah.
I'm the best runner in the world.
Yes.
That's just I'm the fastest man. That's because, did you see my shadow running with me? I
Yeah.
ran alone to the finish line, right? It's not possible, I think, for a football player to say I'm the best football player in the world.
I agree.
It's not
He's
possible,
not.
right? However, we understand what it means when people say it. So, given that context, let's say the best player in the Premier League. I think the best player in the Premier League is Cole Palmer, right?
At the moment.
I looked at it. I've been struggling with Rodri out of the picture.
Yeah, Rodri being out of
Let's
the
establish
picture.
that, right?
I think it's Haaland.
Right. I mean, fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's
right?
it.
Fair enough.
Haaland.
I just think that when I look at the kid, right, I struggle to see why the same parameters that would be used to say Kevin De Bruyne is the best player in the Premier League, the same parameters that would be used to say Mo Salah is the best player in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I struggle to see why it's because he's a kid, and that will not be said about him.
Is that really this work?
No, yeah, of course. No, I agree.
That's a very nice angle.
No, I'm just
By the way, I saw something on X where somebody said if you're dating a Chelsea fan or your husband is a Chelsea fan and you are asking him for something and they refuse to give you, just tell them you're cold.
bro.
You say it works every time.
We speak about Zidane, we speak about Zlatan, these cold players, but honestly, when I look at Cole Palmer, I think that kid is 40 in his mind.
See,
I think I don't know a player.
The utmost top players, the biggest players, there's an attribute they have that I see in the kid.
Yeah.
And they're always unflustered. They look unbothered.
That's the big,
just
that's the
unbothered.
big thing for me.
They have, when you see the biggest player, when
Like
you
they make
when
it
you
too
see
easy.
high pressure game, that's why Kevin De Bruyne was so angry with Pep when he took him off at Anfield last season. In those big games, when you see De Bruyne against Arsenal last season, when Arsenal packed the bus and the big players, they are in the scheme of things. They want the ball. They don't look. They are not bothered. The other players, say Jack Grealish, sorry boy, they do hide and seek.
Yeah.
The big players, the Bruyners, you
call for
see
the
them. They ask for the ball.
Making mistakes is not holding
not-
them back.
they-
They want the ball all the
The
time.
Bruyne will pass the ball in a direction. He
Yeah.
looks and he doesn't come off. He takes the ball again. He
Do it
tries
again.
When I see Cole Palmer, every time he wants the ball and once he gets it, he tries to make things happen. He's not aggressive. He doesn't have that aggressive look, but he's so cold. Like he's football brains.
For me, I can see the reason why you say, "Oh, Haaland is the best player."
Yeah, of course, he's
I can see
scoring
the reason for putting those guys ahead of him. Even I've been seeing conversations, Palmer, Saka. I'm like, in my opinion, I know how good Palmer is based on what he has shown, but I can see why you can make arguments for these guys are better now because maybe they've done it. This is the second season. Maybe they've done it more consistently. So that makes sense, right? But also, when you consider the fact that this guy plays as a midfielder or as a winger and has
He's
this
not a winger
much,
though.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah, he's not a winger.
and has this much
He has more freedom.
output. It's incredible to be a midfielder and have that output, especially
Coffee is finally here. Yeah.
my producer,
Top man.
top man for the job. Very soon now, you will run for political office. But now that time, I will release something wey no go make you win.
Well, this is not too hot.
Yeah, go boil am now. Put am nonsense.
Yeah,
You say no too hot.
One ball in your mouth.
This is very good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I celebrate you.
This is what you need actually.
I'll just-
You don't
yes,
need that
sir.
much.
But that Kupama and Atrusha, the guy who plays some ball, he would also
So
just be like
and you
saying
know,
that's
and
nothing.
it takes me back to last season, his first season. I Wale will remember this when after the 4-4 game against Man City, because I was waiting. He had started playing really well, but I was waiting. I was looking okay, I was waiting. And then after the 4-4 game,
You know this idiot at UK. You can't want to say meat Spidey.
Kupama knows in our breakfast. You don't know in our breakfast.
But to be fair, right? The studio would not allow us to have food in the studio. We would actually have had.
It would have been nice.
Yeah.
It would have been nice. So after the 4-4 game, and I tweeted, I'm like, look, we might be on to a very serious generational talent here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And Wale responded, I was like, Baba, it's too early now. And the reason I tweeted that was the game was going on, it was interesting. The reason I tweeted that was the last penalty he scored, the 4-4 penalty. That's the reason I tweeted.
The United 4-4.
No,
no,
the
okay.
City
City
Man
4-4.
City
Right,
4-4.
right.
United was not 4-4, it
was
was
4-3.
4-3.
That must still be like drum in my head.
Wow.
Person still collects his last season.
Like,
So the reason I tweeted
You know why
that thing,
I remember the game. Right, carry United win or draw, and they considered in the last minute.
useless.
you go cost them. So
Useless team.
when the reason, because that last penalty, when the penalty was given, for some reason there was a delay before he took the penalty.
yeah.
I remember he had scored one.
Yeah.
He scored one before.
Yeah.
So there was a delay.
And
then,
that puts doubt in the mind
in the
of
mind
player.
and then Ederson was trying to get in his head, and the guy held on to the ball.
Boy was just laughing.
He was
was
just
it? Referee said time reach. He put the ball, smashed the ball in. I said, this boy, this mentality.
a boy is
You
cool.
know when he was speaking about when the most pressure moments come in a game, the players they have a sense of the occasion, and he made a good point. You want to add to it, like those players are thinking, if not me, then who?
Who?
You know that?
You
So when
know-
Kevin De Bruyne arguing with Pep and saying, you take me off, he's like, if not me to win the game, like I
Who?
don't. And he's not trying to belittle the guys on the pitch.
But they've accepted their
You
roles
understand?
in it. Now me they
He's
draw
like-
constantly
he's
now.
like-
No be.
he's like, I don't think the guy you're putting can do better than me. And that is where I feel like positive competition comes in. At the best level of elite competition, be it in, and it's always in athletics, sports and everything like that. I believe genuinely, right, that my skill set is superior to yours, right? And that's not a disrespect,
Yeah.
And the proof is in the taste is in the pudding, right? I've done it multiple times.
that guy say
know.
the difference is the taste.
the
The taste is in the difference.
It's different. Now all of us doing something like this. Yeah, so there is that.
They
But,
give
but,
people-
but speaking of Saka, right? I was on the show, and speaking about Saka, and I just hope that right now, everybody is clear that Saka is better than Foden. I just
I hope it is
I
clear.
just hope that it is quite.
I hope
sufficiently
it is clear.
adequately clear to everybody.
You know what?
They're
You know
not-
what?
They don't
You
play
be-
same wing.
so-
now.
You know
Bro.
what you be. You know what you be. I'll
don't-
go
they
one
don't-
step
they don't-
further.
they don't play
I'll
same
go
way.
one step further, right? I'll go one step further. You see that conversation you made about Palmer being
Yeah.
the best player in the league? I think you can make a very strong
Yeah,
case for
that's
Saka
Saka, yeah.
being the best.
Yeah,
The reason
yeah.
is Palmer might be doing
One
well.
of you touched on it.
You know,
Mentioned Saka, yeah.
Palmer might be doing well now, but Saka's thing is, I don't think there's anybody right now that is as a guy plays
Same thing Biola.
a guy
It's-
plays 8-9/10 before Saka go drop below 8, like every single game, and because people don't see him do Zidane turn, Cruyff turn, pull one, not make this one. He does it once in a while because people don't see it all the time. They see him as a mechanical guy. They don't.
This is the props I want to give Saka. I think that academy football has taken a lot away from the modern game.
Yeah.
Right. And it's also responsible, this idea of very refined academies, coaches and everything at different levels has contributed to some boring games we see now, right? Because players are very limited.
Yeah, it's not more tactical.
I think if there is a poster boy for an academy
yeah,
anywhere in the world, is Saka. His game understanding is
Stop.
second to none.
He's stop.
He's second
He's
to
stop.
none.
And
The things Saka can do, the timing at which he does them, when he chooses to do them,
Yeah.
right, it's not about his ability.
And
it's
I have
about
a
what's
feeling.
here. in
And
his head.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling somehow. I don't know, but I have a feeling that Saka can play Saka's numbers will go up a lot higher if he plays behind the striker.
No.
Guess what? I was going to say that.
I agree. His game understanding.
You know what?
Guys-
I was going to say that because of the way Arsenal plays, modern football is played like that these days. The winger has to drop deep a lot. I feel like Saka does so much. At the other
end,
pitch, so much.
he goes back.
Because when you see Ben White, if you ask Ben White wants to play with Saka. If you play anybody with Ben White on that wing, they will kill Ben White. Because of the work Saka does for him. I have a feeling that if Saka played in a double pivot system, where the other midfielder drops into that wing and Saka doesn't have to come so much, he will do more in games.
Yeah.
Because he's running constantly.
Yeah.
When they're attacking Arsenal, he's the one dropping.
There are times when he's the guy that drops into the fullback role. Ben White tucks in as a right centre back.
He does that all the time. So that thing you said about him, if he was in a position where he's just receiving the ball on the half turn and just making things happen, shooting, crossing,
his goals, assist numbers will go up.
Do a lot more.
So this is
again,
why
I think Saka's numbers are drastically very low because of the team, because of the quality of the centre forwards we have.
Yeah.
We don't take enough chances.
That's another one.
So we don't
That's
take
another
enough.
one.
This is delivery to the far post.
That's another one. You see,
you
no vex.
Heard what Martinelli said? Martinelli said, when I saw him, I knew where the ball was going. The last game we played against Leicester, he said, the minute I saw Saka, I knew where the ball. He said, Saka knows how to put that ball in that place.
I'll give you another example.
It wasn't the first time he did that cross.
I'll give you another example.
In that game, he did the first time.
I'll give you another example. Chelsea Arsenal, first leg last season.
Yeah, to Trossard.
The 2-2 goal. It was the exact same thing. So, for me, if you look at how, for example, how Arteta shapes up, like, going forward.
Yeah.
When you're going forward, Odegaard is like, of course, he's number 10.
We miss Odegaard.
So, of course, Odegaard is number 10. But when you're going forward, Odegaard is like a number 8, plays in the half space, close to Saka. Rice is the guy on the other side.
Yeah.
Right? So, in my opinion, like you said, the quality of forwards that you have, if you get a better striker, you get somebody that knows how to play that role Rice plays when he goes forward, when Arsenal are in possession. The numbers across board there goes up, astronomically. Because I think that takes a... Rice is very good going forward, but not necessarily as a number 8.
Yeah.
You need somebody there that is as good as Odegaard in those half spaces.
Yeah, true.
So this is what I think about Saka, and same as Lamine Yamal. Funny thing is that defenders, especially left fullbacks, right fullbacks, they prefer wingers who are more, is it direct, I'll call it, like that you are coming at this player, you want to do a take on, they prefer players like that. I can predict that you want to take me on. And Biola said something about Saka that he likes the fact that if Saka sees that there's no way here, he's going to humble himself and probably find a way to pass. Or send in cross. That's how good he is. So
it's the point you be made.
He's someone that
you see that right hand side. That right hand side. Him and Odegaard. That's why he's so devastating.
Yamal does that too a lot. Like if you are trying to take him on, or if you are trying to mark him, and he would rather just send in a cross or try and pass into space.
Don't be saying
he's understanding.
It's not like Martinelli.
He's
understanding. Martinelli go see two defenders.
But you know why?
Another time I remember saying Ronaldinho.
No. But you know why that is also? Why that is like that also? Bros. IBK.
Brazilian boys, they don't spoil them.
IBK. Why that is like that also? Part of that is also because of that Rice situation. You see that Odegaard and Saka combination on the right.
Yeah.
Odegaard, Saka and Odegaard, they know in their heart. They create this. There are two people they create these angles around defenders.
But you know, Saka they do the same thing for England.
Once Saka,
Saka they do that same thing for England.
Guess what?
Yeah, he's
once
very
Saka
productive.
takes the ball at the wing at the fullback and they double up on him. And
he finds Odegaard.
Odegaard drop closer to him.
Yeah.
You are in trouble.
You are in trouble. He finds Odegaard. As he give Odegaard, he don't go.
Because the minute he drops the ball to Odegaard, and sometimes, Saka is very dynamic in the things he does. Sometimes, if a defender is with him, he gives the ball. The defender is thinking he's going behind.
Yeah.
Sometimes he goes behind. Sometimes he shapes to go behind
and
goes in front of you.
Yeah.
So the defender is here. He's here. He drops the ball. So instead of the defender instead of him going this way, he goes in front of you. So the defender does not know where he wants to.
If you even touch him, now foul.
He's very dynamic with his runs, and the combination with Odegaard is so good. That's why Odegaard is.
That's what I'm saying.
You know how, when you watch Odegaard and the way Arsenal plays, Odegaard is the reason Arsenal play the way we play.
Yeah.
That game we played at Man City, the way we defended in that first half. If Odegaard was on the pitch, we won't play like that. We'll attack more. Odegaard, that entire Arsenal are defensive. Why not a defensive side?
So you see,
that one I go defend.
You
though.
see
That-
the
this one
conversation
we
we
talk
had
I'm not talking the second
about people determining the tempo of the team.
The tempo of the team,
we
the
said
shape.
that Odegaard is the guy
Oh, yeah, of course,
who
we
does
did-
that
we
for
did talk
Arsenal.
about it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
We talked about it.
So we touched base with Cole Palmer. We touched base
Who
on.
did you take tempo of Man U?
So
They look for trouble.
Ineos.
no, actually, Bruno. But Bruno don't tire.
You don't tire.
Bruno needs a rest. He
By
don't
the way,
tire.
the big story coming from Old Trafford this week, that Alex has been
Absolute
Yeah,
disgrace.
yeah.
Absolute disgrace.
You
Quite
think
sad.
it's a disgrace?
It's absolute disgrace.
I did disgrace.
Absolute
I didn't
disgrace.
read- I didn't read
Money
into
over
it.
the collect.
Do you know why? Do you know why I think?
See, because I was quite surprised that they didn't quite put the figures out.
No,
But
they said it's
said
2 million now.
2
million.
million there, but
God.
every year.
yeah.
No, but bro, wait. Hold on.
But it's changed. It's
For-
changed.
It's changed
For
to
a
Manchester
guy-
United.
For what he's done for that football club, I
Yep.
think he deserved that pension.
Yep.
Of
No,
course, he
you know it's
deserved-
not. It's not even just.
You know-
it's not just pension.
No, I'm
It's
just
an
saying.
ambassadorial role.
Ambassadorial
You can call
role.
it pension.
No, it's
You can call
pension
it
in deciding some
in
things
way,
as well.
When you do what you've done, you are the reason this club is still
Is
being
who they- is
regarded
where you-
as
you
a
understand?
big club.
You
This
understand?
club in the last 10 years have been
So
a
he's
big
not the
club.
problem.
So-
Where they start cutting costs from, it should
No.
not be from him.
Yeah,
Why?
No.
It should not be from him.
Rufai,
I think that Ineos have shown
So now that's what
early signs.
Yes.
Early signs that they might fail. That they have a higher chance of failing as United owners than at success. The few early signs, right, are they're counterproductive.
Yes. So when I saw the news, in my head is this guy is being adored at this football club.
That's not. You don't do this one. No do
He's been guy.
The
he's
question,
been
the question,
No, another school of thought. I think they're trying to make a statement.
There is. Hold on a sec. Hold on.
It's very subtle.
Hold on.
Let's start from Ten Hag.
There is
That was not a statement. That was not enough.
finances on paper. Finances are these are assets, right? This is your money in the bank, right? But intangibles also is like when PO talks about some of the assets of a country is securities. Is
It's
an asset.
intangible, but it's a very important asset. Yeah.
You understand? Education is an asset. It's intangible. You can't. You don't go anywhere. Say I'm
can't
holding
touch
education.
it. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
You understand?
But-
Or I'm holding security. But that fact you can drive around at 2 a.m. in the night.
That's why your
That's an
economy is
asset.
where
Yeah.
it is.
You understand? That's how
Yeah.
somebody can do a full glass car lot or a full
Say
glass
no problem.
you understand, and go home knowing
You know?
that nobody's
Exactly.
gonna. So that's an intangible asset. Now to bring it back to football, right? The adulation that Sir Alex gets, right, which he has built at the club, the goodwill is an intangible asset.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's so intangible, it's so tangible that £2 million is not commensurate
Yeah, of course.
to the goodwill that
So-
Sir Alex
so
brings.
more so-
I don't think
more
so. I
so-
don't think it's about
You
that.
lose that with the fans for nothing.
More so, it's a new leadership at the club. You want to be on side with the
You
fans.
need it. Like,
You need that capital. You need, that support.
yeah, that's the word.
So to take such a decision and even allow it go public
At the timing of it.
at the timing is absolutely dire.
And you know what's weird? What's
I
weird is
disagree
that. What's
anyways.
weird
I
is that.
disagree.
What's weird is that the communication. You could have cut that. You could have cut Sir Alex, and the communication could have been way better. You could have cut him and have an understanding with him and say, look, this is not going to go out. Or maybe when he eventually goes out, we're going to say, like, Sir Alex is going to take a more because he's now getting older. He wants to rest.
You know,
So it's going to look like Sir Alex was the one that really made the decision about, I think I want to rest a lot more because I'm now older. He lost his wife. So he wants to have a lot of me time. You can communicate it that way. But when the communication is
Cutting
that is
costs.
cutting costs.
Sir Alex has because you're cutting for
That's
2 million.
terrible PR. For £2 million, this is a global. This is a stock. You're on the stock market.
This would have made sense to me if every decision that you have made since you have been in charge have been going
I've
well.
been a hit.
See when he says stock market, I don't know if United are publicly listed.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
So, with where United are now, cutting Sir Alex drops their
your
rating
value
on the stock
on the stocks.
than whatever. Actually, having him stabilizes that stock, irrespective of the fact that
He's just an ambassador. Yeah.
because he's an ambassador. Cutting him can actually drop. So
So
when if everything you have done has been going well, I can get it that okay, the ship has stabilized.
You spent 50 million pounds on the Ligt.
so-
I said it here, right?
I've been thinking you be the over.
No, let's pick up the
but it be
pace,
like say
right?
that the Ligt
Because
too
I'm told we need to pick up the pace, right? Let's get on to we're talking about Arsenal, Cole Palmer. Let's talk about United and of course move on to Liverpool because I think we haven't spoken about Liverpool. When you have lost just one game,
Honest thought.
you get
La, la, la,
club
la, la.
nowhere. I said it here. I thought the Ligt was.
Yeah, next games are difficult.
I watch defenders, and you can call me a dinosaur, right? But there are things I look out for in defenders, right? When I say defender, that is constantly arriving to the crime scene.
He said that arriving.
You get?
Arriving.
He's constantly arriving. Oh,
Oh,
this guy don't pass us.
I remember what you said about Maguire.
Now the same thing. You say you're arriving at the crime
He's
scene.
constantly like Lindelof.
Now you then said when you go assassinate, but you they arrive when the deed
I
done.
see Lindelof every time. They are always dragging him. You see that he's on the floor. You see that he's just carrying his hand up, saying referee. You don't say don't kill me. I know that you're not in control of the situation, right? Every time I watch the Ligt, except that 1 year at Ajax, right? He has always looked like, please come and help me now. People come back now. That's what I get from him.
Yeah.
But
When
you
you
heard what
watch
he
Van
said.
Dijk, even when you've eliminated Van Dijk, right? He was there. He was there to be eliminated. He didn't pick up a bad position. It's either he slipped, you not met him, or whatever it is. But he was in the place.
Yeah.
When you watch the great defenders, the Varans,
Yeah.
The Ramoses, you understand?
The Ligt
He
is
said-
how it's how old
He
now.
said they pick a red card.
I think
Say
it's
I was
25 or
say
whatever.
you know I think he signed for secondary
Still
school.
very
Say, I was here on
Supposed to
the
be in his
wall.
prime.
Yeah.
I was here.
He's
The
in
Ligt
his
is
prime.
supposed to be
The
in his
Ligt.
prime.
He's in his prime now.
I didn't think I
24.
watch ground like that.
He's in his prime now.
Charlie.
Now, I think the issue is from the fact that if you look at that Ajax set, I can only pick one player who maybe stood out till now, and that's Frankie de Jong. You get
Yeah,
the
that-
others.
that class, yeah.
But even
I think-
Frankie,
Even Frankie,
Frankie has been injured.
Yeah, he had his
multiple
injury,
times.
but he was playing really well.
but he's still the one that I can say.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
mention
fair,
Neres,
fair.
if you mention this
Neres
guy,
at Napoli.
Napoli.
this guy at United before,
Van de Beek.
Van de Beek.
Van Beek, and the rest of that, I think is a foundation issue. It's a big foundation issue, and if you want to go for any Ajax player now,
So my own
That's
issue
wrong.
with United,
I-
bros.
Baba, if you want to go to any Ajax player, go for the right Ajax player.
My own issue with
Mohamed
United
Kudus is at West Ham.
understand?
doing well.
Now,
My own-
I became
IBK makes a very, very, very good
Loki
point.
touches a good point.
No,
Loki,
it's not even.
right?
It's not even low key. High key.
African man
It's
now.
like
I never thought about it that way.
yeah.
That's a very, very, very. Wait.
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 Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Wait.
Stop that.
That's a very,
Yeah,
that's a very, very
Kudus.
solid point because when you look at all these players, we know that some of them have had injuries. But
Yeah.
how is it that since they left that team,
Yeah, they haven't.
None
done
of them have
anything
seemed to be-
Yeah.
That's
guy.
where you're
like David Neres? I never would have thought David Neres would just go
As
like
in-
Yeah, he's
In
at
the-
Napoli
in-
now.
in
It was
this day
so
and age,
exciting.
He's trying to revive his career.
in
Go
this
Turkey
day
at
and
some
age,
point. Go
just
this
look at
thing.
the data and the pattern. Do you understand? One is a one-off.
Yeah.
It's a coincidence. Two, probably another coincidence. Three, that's an interesting pattern.
That's a
developing there.
pattern already
3,
now.
4, 5.
pattern
That's
now.
actually
Make we run. No.
My,
You know what I'm
my,
saying?
my own issue with United and this Ligt situation is that you cannot go into the market and everybody Maguire. Man, you did everything possible to
Send him away.
send Maguire away. You cannot go into the market and come back. And right now, Maguire is your best is your best centre back in that position. Because I don't see how the league
Even in the
benches him.
league, he's been.
Because now we've seen. Cause me, I thought you'd be at the first instant when you mentioned Ligt and it's stunning. I thought it was Varane. I'm like, no, this boy is young. I didn't know that it was actually that bad because truly at 24, 25.
Turning radius of a petrol
Oh,
tanker.
of an ocean voyage holiday liner. You know all those ocean holiday liner where you say like 4,000 people go there on top. Okay.
Turning speed of the Titanic.
I'm telling you.
Bro, so I didn't know that it was like that. So when you go into the market and you get a player like that, and then you come and you're going to play, what was the last game they played?
Aston
And
Villa.
it's Maguire and
John Evans.
Still starting.
That's
And
why-
I know Lenny Yoro is injured.
Yeah.
I know Lenny, but Lenny Yoro is
But
18.
That's the kid. It's coming.
He's 18. So if he comes back, what?
But United signed Euro first
Yeah.
before they signed
De
Ligt.
Ligt, yeah.
And I think they signed De Ligt after Euro got injured.
Injured, yeah. It was.
No,
more like,
the Ligt was already linked to.
The
no.
Ligt was linked already.
It was not. They didn't plan for
no,
delete.
no,
Right
No,
from-
but they didn't sign Euro to come and be like first choice immediately.
United
I
wanted
think.
to sign 2 centre backs this summer.
Okay.
Right. Irrespective of what happened, United want to sign 2 centre backs this summer.
Yeah.
In also in anticipation that potentially Maguire might leave.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But they weren't
True,
going to
true.
push him out. Right. But he was going to leave for the right amount of
And
money.
he sat there.
You understand?
Somebody
Now,
has to be
now,
helping
what I
one
see
relegation club.
is that United had gone in. The strategy was great. Gone in for Euro, gone in for Ligt at the same time. So it's up to you guys to make up your minds, because if this money comes from my hand, now you sabi, you go to Bayern Munich or you go to Lille, right? However,
They only signed Jared Brantway.
Brownwood, that
I hear they are
was
still
United.
in- they
That
are
was
still in
United's
for him.
priority
January.
Yeah,
to
Brentway,
cover
yeah, he was.
for
That would have been a solid
Martinez,
signing,
right?
actually.
You're
It
not
wouldn't,
sure.
it wouldn't have been.
No,
I'm
he
telling
would
you,
have
now,
been. I'm telling you, he would have been.
okay.
He's a ball playing centre back who's very aggressive.
Okay, I've heard it. I've said it now too, and that's why I said that Gvardiol is not a good centre back. People would tell that time. Now,
No, Gvardiol is a good player. I don't know about centre
People are
back.
talking nonsense.
No, but he's playing in it. Wait, bro.
Have you known that Gvardiol is playing left back?
Yes, he is.
I know.
Look at the centre back.
That's
I
what I'm
know.
saying.
Brilliant centre back.
If a centre,
Let me
if
tell you.
If
like,
I can't carry him, they play
if he's
left
that
back.
good, if he's that
He will
good,
play
I
in position.
promise you,
He will play
they
in
would
position.
play him in his position.
This
No,
thing-
they
this
can't
thing
play
are
him in
true.
his position because Pep.
No.
Pep
No,
is playing.
Ini.
The
You know,
basic-
Pep is playing three
Ini,
at
I
the back.
promise you.
the
No, it's
basic law of
possible they need
football.
to do a job
Pep-
there.
no,
Pep
if
is-
And
you
the
are-
person where they play there.
Oh
Right.
my
Because I don't
God.
get another person who go play
If
left
you
back.
are
Hold
good at
on.
your
Pep
position.
is playing Akonji and
Ruben Diaz.
Where you want put him?
Who
But
go
if
play?
he-
So-
if
so-
he-
so-
No. I don't have a problem.
So
He
you are
could
saying
have
that-
played. He could have played ahead of who's playing left centre back between
Diaz.
Diaz.
There's no way he plays.
Diaz
Diaz.
can't
He's not
play
going to
now.
bench
Hold on,
Diaz now.
hold on, hold
You
on,
can't
hold on,
bench
hold
Diaz.
on.
But the
You're not
problem is
getting-
even-
you're not getting Yubi's point.
The problem
If
is
Diaz
even-
plays
if he's
right
good
too,
enough.
so you know.
he plays right
He
too.
plays right too.
Yeah, and that's
So you're
why.
telling me that
And that's
Akonji is
why
the one benching-
Gvardiol could have played as a left centre back, but nobody for played the left back.
Akonji plays left.
Now them
Akonji-
Bob.
Akonji fit
Akonji-
do
Akonji
am.
plays-
Akonji they play right back.
No. Akonji plays left back.
Akonji-
No,
No,
play
both legs,
right
though.
though.
He dey use
Akonji
both
play the
legs,
right centre back.
And
when
right back.
When they play,
He dey use
when
both
they
legs
play
well
three
with
at the
Akonji.
back.
Yeah.
When they play three at the back, he plays Akonji, Diaz, and
Gvardiol.
Gvardiol.
Yeah.
When he plays two, he plays Akonji and
Diaz.
And Diaz.
Diaz and plays Gvardiol at left
Yes.
back.
You rather have Gvardiol at left back.
What I'm
You
saying,
rather have
see,
him.
what I'm saying is that you are the one
go
that
shift
is
down.
we can dispense to the left.
Yeah, they don't go
Do you
shift
understand?
down.
No,
Because
they are
as-
they are
as
dispensing to the
United
left
feel-
not because of his quality.
Because of his left foot.
I'll make an example.
It creates more
As
balance.
United, they struggle with as Ten Hag one left footer reach. Oh, the team is not balanced on the left. We don't have a left back. He has never tried to use Martinez there.
Because
Right.
he doesn't have pace. Now they will kill him.
No. It's not. It's not.
He doesn't have pace. They will kill him.
It's not about pace.
They don't. He
Hold
played
on,
him at left back in one game.
When you
and
have
they almost killed
hold
him.
on.
Yeah.
You have it was momentum. It was in the game. It wasn't starting. When you have Maguire, De Ligt, and John Evans, you can play Maguire left centre back and play De Ligt at right centre back and push Martinez to left back and depend on their game intelligence to manage the situation. Do you understand? What is happening at Man City?
Wait, let me just quickly say something.
I
You
didn't-
see this man, you see this that you just described is the opposite of what we are telling you with Man City. You see, at Man U, if you remove Martinez or that left center back, can I go left back? No, be say you don't even get speed. Not only say you don't get speed, you kill him for left back. Now say you see that ball playing when you want to do. Now the Maguire go play him.
Of course, that's
So
the
it's the
problem.
same thing on the Man City end. He's the one that brings more balance if you push him to the left
Left.
back.
Okay.
Because
So-
you rather play if you find balance. Akonji go do job for centre back.
So
any day,
basically,
anytime.
you are saying you are telling me right now, right, that for the quote unquote the best centre back in the World Cup, quote unquote, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he was, but I waited and call him.
That's what he said. Has not after that World Cup season played one game in centre back again.
Okay,
since
you know
that
why
time.
I
No, he has.
you know why I agree with you?
He has.
Can I ask
You
a
understand?
question? This question
No,
now will make me agree with
question
you.
is, would it have happened with Van Dijk?
No, wait.
No.
No, this question
Would
now I
it,
want
would,
to
it,
ask.
would, it, would it happen with Ruben
See,
Diaz?
see,
in
see,
their-
Wait.
Definitely
This
Van
question
Dijk
now I
come
want to
right-
ask.
come right back.
If
And Van Dijk,
Netanyahu,
they
wait. If
Uncle Ake,
Netanyahu,
yes, we do.
comes back,
Or Saliba?
wait now. If Netanyahu comes back
back,
and
yeah.
fully fit, he plays at left back, right?
Yeah, easily.
Let's
Yes.
say now you now have a left back option.
Yes.
Does Gvardiol goes back into centre back?
No, he's on the bench.
He's not.
No,
That guy plays
he'll
more.
play.
I
He'll
don't
play.
see him on the bench.
Eh,
guy will
then-
play.
then that-
Ruben Diaz will go back.
So Ruben Diaz will be right centre
No,
back.
you go back to the bench.
No, Ruben Diaz no the bench.
He
Baba,
was benched the last
Diaz.
season.
So now Akonji and
You know they watch Jamal.
So I don't see.
no, my own. I
Diaz
want
is
to
fit.
know.
Now Diaz
When
go
I
fit.
talk this thing, when I say they do excuse, you see Man City. You see those players. There's not a single Man City player that plays 33 games in a
Yes,
season.
Except
Maybe Haaland.
or Rodri.
Except Haaland and
Rodri
Rodri.
played
Diaz
48.
Yes. Haaland and Rodri. They are the
And
only
the keeper, and the keeper.
and the goalkeeper. You see that back
See the
line?
point I'm making?
Even Kai
That's the
Walker.
principle.
Even Kai Walker. When they play, they say play Sheffield United.
Yes, now.
He puts them on the bench.
Yes, now. Chebi, you see, they say Chelsea don't
When
get set.
Arsenal-
Chelsea don't get set. Now, with you two starting 11.
That
One
Man
for
City.
Confederation Cup.
To buttress this point, I just make. You see all this. The manager, his philosophy is so strong that can bench anybody. Why don't you do on Rodri? Why did you do on Rodri?
But they do am.
You
Bet-
know,
bet Rodri.
bet Rodri now.
No, be
Bet
for
Rodri.
important
You bet
games.
Play Arsenal, make him fit.
You
bet
paid
am.
heavily in the Champions League final. You because you
He-
know
he
you
went
paid
and
you
did
paid
not-
They
Chebi
Chebi
dearly for
do
your
am
life.
against Chelsea now.
You paid dearly for your life.
Mr. Mount did one through
So
pass.
my
Harvard finished.
yeah, my thinking I say.
Midfield open like
No
open like
Messi
water.
Mount for that Champions League final.
It be like-
it be like Scofield
Be like
for
Isco.
prison break.
Eh,
I never see
Isco.
Scofield for another top movie again.
But I beg, waiting.
After that one, I never see him for any block. As Messi played that one finish, he said, I don't dey drink it. Like, man, you can't sign up.
I've gotten my medal.
Like,
There's
agent.
always- there's
Una
always-
dey mad.
There's always one English player. Dele Alli, the same thing is happening to Messi Mount. now.
Yeah.
Just
That Messi Mount.
Dele Alli thing.
Messi on an injury. I don't feel believe I say Messi
Injury.
Mount they get injury. Messi
Our
is always
Injury
fit.
is very
Our team
unfortunate.
just they
So
said.
what's the problem?
Just
now?
very
come back.
unfortunate.
We
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know why
I
he's
think
not
they
getting
will do
injury.
So
Let's leave United.
They feel
That's a
low
good
for
player.
Ghana.
Let's go
He's a
to-
good player actually.
They feel low back Chelsea.
Let's
for
go to
Ghana.
Liverpool.
Let's go to Liverpool, right? A player. So look, a player I've seen. You know that's why I don't know. I don't know if it's down to coaching or down to the player. But sometimes you have to give credit where credit is due.
Of course.
right? When I watch Gravenberch play
I
now,
knew that where you were going to some.
right? when I watch Gravenberch play now, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
How has Klopp
He
been
looks-
benching
how
him?
has
looks-
Klopp gone away with this? This is daylight. This is murder.
How has Klopp got
mother.
it? Because one Premier League
No,
title.
see, now
He looks
system.
smooth.
Now system. Some players.
No, na system.
Some players know they fit into some system.
See, believe it or not, these Liverpool players, they may not admit it, but they enjoy playing under this guy more than they enjoy playing under Klopp. Klopp
know
was
why?
gung ho.
Talking a taskmaster.
You know, he
That's
was gung ho. He wanted them to fly all the
Yeah.
time. These players enjoy control. And Gravenberch is a player likes control. He likes
lose games. You go, things go change.
he
Now,
loves to
because they soft
control.
man, they don't dey.
And that's why I tell people, that Liverpool are going to be very difficult to beat this season. They're going to be a very difficult team to beat this season because they are more
They are more controlled.
they're more in control
They are not
of
running
games.
as
They're not
you-
running. Liverpool where let's just hustle and see
They
what
take
will
their
happen.
time. They score one. They take their
They're
time.
not going to. So if you play under 2.5 in most Liverpool games, you might get it because
But-
they are not going to score a lot of goals, but they're going to control most games, and that's why Gravenberch is absolutely flourishing because he's more in control of things. They're just tiki taka, move the ball slowly.
I think they pick their moments very, very well so far in the season. They pick their moments to let's press now. No,
Yeah.
let's wait. Let's press now. Let's wait. They pick it. I don't know how he has been able to drill that into them in short space of time, but they pick it very well.
But you know
That's
why
how.
this, you know why,
I think
that's
you know why I don't
how
like this-
you
you
know.
know why I don't
A
like
lot
that
of
pattern?
this down
And
to
you can argue.
You know I don't like that
and
pattern.
And guess what? And you can argue that the guy has, he has inherited a very good team.
a lot of it down to fundamentals being right.
Fundamentals
Yeah,
being
yeah,
there
yeah,
already.
yeah.
Of
inherited a
course.
good team.
You got your spine, you got your
very good
leadership.
strong
Just
team.
like
everything.
Austin Gvardiol
But
to
you
got
make-
to Spiders.
I go throw you this.
Cerezo.
No be
See them, man.
No be better spines for
They all go wine Cerezo for Libya.
But you made a good point.
Cerezo.
You made a good point that
good man.
so to be able to do that in this short space of time, 5 months, to be able to get the team to assimilate what you're trying to do in such a short period.
Great communicator.
Ten Hag has been trying for 3 years. He cannot.
But you can't compare.
You know,
That's how that's how you know a good manager.
You be mentioned.
That's actually you know a good manager.
You be
A manager
mentioned best
can-
players.
You know, you can see, oh, it's not the finished article yet, but you can see what he's trying to do. You can see how.
Don't worry, trouble
cannot see what
waters
Ten Hag
will
United
still
before
come.
He will
United.
come this
No,
weekend.
trouble waters will still come. But you see that this is clearly.
Chelsea win or
Ah,
draw.
Now this one I don't like.
Yeah.
Guy, before United,
Oh,
didn't
I
you
don't
know
go
what they
there.
have to do in games?
We get two important suspensions.
But on Liverpool, we're going to stay with Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
You see, you be mentioned best players in the league so far. I think Gravenberch is top 3
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah.
at the moment.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'll give him some time.
No, I think it's top 3.
Wow.
You have
Everything
you have
Brilliant.
Haaland.
I've watched every Liverpool
You have
game.
Haaland. Okay, top. Okay, let me
Top
say top
five,
4.
maybe.
Top 4, top 5.
He's not in any top.
No, he is.
Performance-wise.
Liverpool are top of the table.
Performance-wise.
Liverpool are top of the table. If you want to go performance and forget, this was scored number of goals.
Yeah.
He's been their best
Of
player.
course, of course.
He's looked
Without
like
a doubt.
He's looked like the one that has turned around. You know what we were all scared of at the start of the season. They don't have a DM.
Rocky says, steady on.
You know, at the start of the season, we were saying, I was scared for Liverpool. They don't have a proper DM. They
Yeah.
don't have, but he's the guy that has turned that around, and
Yeah.
they are top of the table. They've lost only one season, only one goal. So, like we said, trouble time will come. But if you talk Haaland, you talk, you talk Palmer, who else? They're top of the table.
I think it's been brilliant.
So with Gravenberch, right? My thing when I watch him is with players like that, you're almost looking at. They said this.
He came from the Ajax
They said
Just putting it out there.
But he no play on that
no,
Ten
no.
Hag. He did.
He played on that Ten Hag.
For that same Ajax team.
Not
But-
that crop of players.
but-
But before
but-
Ten
before-
Hag came.
yes.
Now any praise be this.
He don't
It's
go
just-
Bayern Munich after now.
Yeah.
If you
we
know,
are just- we are just-
now when
we are
in
just
die,
five
you
games
go
into the
praise down.
season. Just
Now
five
we
games.
tell 7 games into the season.
Soboslai
Now
said
we
be like-
tell you say. Now
Soboslai do like this last
That's
season.
no,
how-
Soboslai not do like this.
That's how
Soboslai first half of the season.
You know
That's
like
how-
this.
That's
Wale
how some.
affected them.
Soboslai played very
You
well.
know,
First half of
Soboslai.
the season.
Soboslai not do like
First
this.
half of the season, Wale.
Soboslai not do like this.
That's how Southampton will be relegated because they are saying it's 7
It's
matches.
7 games. That's how they will be relegated.
I think the thing with Gravenberch is, this modern football thing. One of the downsides of it is they try to put players into boxes. They say this is the only thing he can do. He's like Jorginho. They say he's not good at tackling, but if not that short passing go down well.
Baba.
But that's a lie.
No. I don't like
Jorginho is
all
actually
that.
a very good passer
When I
of the
watch
ball.
Rodri, for example, Rodri is when I say
Very
he's the
good
best
passer
player
of
in the
the ball.
world when he's fit, is Rodri can do everything.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
That's
You know,
why in his
you know,
position.
Game understanding. So when I watch Gravenberch now, what I was made to believe when he signed is that
He was a box to box.
he was box to box. I can see him deciding when to give a shot and go and stay.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, what that tells me is there's a nucleus of a complete player there.
Yeah.
All he needs is the game time and to stay fit. Because I see that he can decide, you know what? Yeah, let's keep the game with us now. We don't need to do that, right? So it's not what we're sold.
No,
that,
of course.
for a player like
Of
a player
course.
like Messi
I've
Mount,
always-
this is the pressing machine.
and al-
So
and also-
all we're going to do is press.
This point.
We don't
you're
pass
making-
ball.
This point you are this point you are making is a
Go
very
see.
good point.
You see-
It's also possible that was the player. That was the attribute in the player.
Right.
It wasn't just working on the
Right.
club because club was expecting a runner, expecting him to run. The guy is playing under a manager who wants to keep possession. Club wasn't a possession player, coach.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't interested. He did, but in terms of bossing games, he looks like he's more in his in his natural appetite, habitat. He's enjoying himself. He's absolutely flourishing. But again, against better opponents,
No,
That's when the medal.
trouble times
against
will
better
come.
opponents.
They have a difficult run of games
Yeah.
now.
That's why I don't want to say.
You know, we're going to
They play
see.
Chelsea this weekend.
They play Chelsea. They play.
They come to the Emirates to lose next weekend.
So trouble times, but
Yeah.
what is clear is you can see there that this is what this coach like immediately we're saying it's different from Klopp because you can see they're passing it, they're taking their time.
He reminds me.
You start
When-
Liverpool
when
games
you have-
against
when
was
you
it
have the
against
right set of
was it
players.
against
Reminds me a lot
Bournemouth or
about-
something? They didn't score in the first half. It was
and they didn't panic. They didn't panic.
When you have the right set of players, you can fine tune, you can experiment.
it's the same thing we are saying
you can,
now.
Now you want to bring in the fact that okay, this guy came into Liverpool and you're already seeing a difference. I can assure you that the set of players are the one making it look that
Yeah,
way.
but the person you are using to make this point at Man United has been there 3 years. He never signed his own set of
No,
players.
when Mourinho left the winning team for Benitez, he went there and he house burned down. Do you understand? Like some
Put the don't put
see,
fear,
see,
put
some
fire.
leaders
No,
come in
no,
and
no disrespect
some
Benitez.
leaders come in and
Senior man.
confuse you.
I'm not
Like
disrespecting him, but that's what the reality
bro,
was.
Senior man,
He
senior
entered,
man.
there
he
is
put
I-
fire
I-
for house,
you know,
they burn 'em.
the best thing about speaking with you guys on the podcast every week
Senior man.
is the ability to be fluid in conversations, right? There is the part of he made a very good team, right? And it's funny because he was telling everybody, but they didn't believe him. Like, you haven't signed any player, is a question you keep asking me. But I can tell you for free, the players here, it's hard to improve on them.
Yeah, of course.
And I was telling
But
everybody,
he was saying
I was
it.
saying to everybody,
United.
no.
No,
Slot was saying.
Slot.
Oh, okay.
All
was
summer,
saying.
you get. So that's the taste of the pudding. Now he's showing you guys that I was actually right. I told you guys that
They're good
it's
players.
hard to improve on Salah. Give me a player that's better than Salah.
Don't be that idiot
Right.
only come say,
Yeah,
we
players
have
are
good players.
All of a sudden,
and
you're not asking for
second is
players.
not good
And then I know
enough.
you
Oh,
said,
yeah, now,
you know,
but you said they are good.
But it's
very
also
good
a part of
Easier when
him-
you have better players.
Sorry, yeah. There's also a part of Slot coming in
They
and
don't give a work since then.
communicating clearly.
Yeah.
This is what I've seen you guys do, right? Now I'm not going to confuse you guys, but this is what I think
This is
we
what
can
I
add
really
to the
want to
game
do.
that can take us to the next level. And to do that, you have to communicate that thing clearly. Because to communicate it clearly, it means that they must add that one way you talk, but not also lose the fundamentals of what they were doing before.
Yeah.
What this guy was talking about Ten Hag, right? When Ten Hag came to United, he knew what he wanted to do with the team, right? I can promise you now that Ten Hag himself is confused what he's trying to tell the team to do.
Now I wanna go buy
I'm
player.
telling you, it's almost like
Now I wanna go buy
like he's
player.
now
We-
doubting himself. Like,
I don't-
this idea that I have, is it bulletproof enough
Just to make
to not be questioned?
Just to make one last point
it
about Ten Hag at United. Just to make one last point about Ten Hag at United. You see, when the coach comes in and the magnitude of the club, like United, when he came in at first, I'm like, see, because of how United be, this guy, it doesn't matter what his ideas are, it will take a while, so give him time because he's going to bring in his own type of players, and all that. My biggest problem with him is that you've been there 3 years. I do not see that the players that you yourself, except you say that all these players where you sign, nothing concern you with them, then just tell you say they don't sign them.
No,
and you
don't
guys
say
use
Mr.
them.
Man na pressing
And so
machine. Washing machine with the iron clothes.
wetin dey happen? Make I talk.
Don't be lie when I go live for man. You say.
So all the players I have signed, I do not see that.
Good.
I do not see that because fundamentally what a lot of clubs are doing now is that all these things that the player can do, they want to see that this guy can actually play football, like he can play ball. Give him the ball.
Yeah.
The ball is safe with him. That's fundamentally what a lot of clubs are doing now. If you give this guy the ball, is the ball safe with him? That like he sabi play ball. So I don't see that the players I assign are good enough on the ball to execute what it seems you want them to execute. That's my biggest issue with him. So if you are signing all these guys and it feels like your team, except you are playing a mid or low table side, I don't see that you can hold on to the ball and it's safe for a prolonged period of time on the pitch. Say, pass it around, nudge it around, and then the space. I don't see that. So it feels like even your players. And another thing is, it is scary how United are playing a game and you see that there's a United player with the ball in a tight spot. It's scary how I don't see people breaking their necks to give him options.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it because you see a United player with the ball and you see people walking. He has maybe one option. The opposition is trying to block that one option.
Yeah, it's principle.
I don't see people
that comes from principle.
breaking their neck to give him multiple options. That's how I know that,
that's
there's something wrong with the coach, with the training.
That's confusion. That's confusion setting because the default for players is to take the ball. You understand? Even when we play 5-a-side here,
Yeah.
But we
I
know
wanna-
Ten Hag teams like
I want
this
to
now.
come back and take the ball. I want to give me the ball. Like even when you're not being
You
coached,
get people
want
need to show up.
You just show
That's
up
the
like
thing we talked about before. People need to
just
show up,
show up.
irrespective
Give me the ball,
That's
right?
why I respect players. Again, people are buying players who are very good on the ball. They can be having a bad game, but you will never see them hiding
They'll do
from
the
the ball.
basics.
Yeah.
They will show up. Give me the ball.
I try and make that
Basics,
pass,
yeah.
but they don't block him.
But they don't block him.
I
Give
try
me
and
the
make the
ball.
block him
And
again.
give me the ball.
They are defensively well coached.
I see United players. It feels like if the game is not going well,
Bro,
Everybody
Bruno
go
keeps
there.
showing up.
they're like,
That's why I don't agree with
they're
people
like-
bashing
yeah, so
Bruno.
they're like looking
Yeah,
at the
but
bench
I don't.
they're looking to the bench like, so what next? Like,
You know
this
when
plan
you
no work.
you know
He's
even
playing-
even
He's playing a very bad team.
When you watch
there is only so much you can do until the bad thing catches up with you.
exactly when you watch when you watch players
Yeah.
training, you know, even here you watch players training. They play this rondo thing where you have, you know, back then we call it center man or something.
Yeah.
So you're middleman. You
middleman.
have someone in middle.
Ogunki Rondo.
When you play middleman,
Rondo.
right? Normal street middleman.
Middleman, non
You wait and give the ball, right?
I'm middleman now.
We are no vex. Middleman. Middleman. Are you good, my lord? Are you
I'm
good, my
middleman
lord? Middleman, you are good, my lord.
We did good.
Anyways, so when you play the normal street one, say boys just gather, they play for street. You play that middleman, right? You wait and give ball. Now you go find way, fine way you want to.
Yes.
But when you watch more organized players in training, when they give you the ball, you know it's round, it's a circle. When they give you the ball, at every time your coaches will tell you, you always have two options.
That's
Because
triangles.
every time they give you the ball, the guy
Outside,
on
step.
both ends will step back so that you can see them and give them the ball. When they step back, the guy in the middle, it makes it more difficult. It's a longer time if either of them you pass to for him to get to
I
them.
don't go coaching.
So
Yeah.
when you now see United play, they play like the first one. They play like when I give Bruno the ball,
You
make
find
him
out.
find win one.
You find solution.
So I was talking to my coach one time, and he said that one thing we don't see on the pitch is that, and coaches see, is they don't see it as 11 aside. They see it as
Spaces,
three
spots,
aside. They don't see
spaces
11 against
on the field.
11.
When you there here, three
They are
of them
particular about
triangle.
where the ball is.
Where the ball is.
This is
Three
situation
against
that
three.
you guys had.
Spaces.
You get they are,
on the field.
They don't see 11. So
Yeah.
that's why when you have to give options, that's why
That's
I
the concept of
I
overload.
like
Yeah.
Pep a lot. Pep, there has to be options for the player with the ball.
Yeah,
When
it's the
Man
concept
City
of overload
When
too.
Man City players are, it's the concept of overload. When Man City players have possession, that's why, you know, I never agree with people when they say Pep is just, you know, he's buying players and all of that. And he keeps saying that my United and my Chelsea were buying players. Why are they not achieving what we're achieving?
That's
Yeah.
a stupid argument.
It's
though.
not a
But
stupid
it
argument.
is
It's a
a
good
stupid
argument. You were buying, why are you not winning 4 leagues? In
No,
the
but
row? So
it's a stupid argument now.
The guy is actually a very good coach. You know, when you see his team
You
play,
did see comments about
He's not better than-
Oscar Bob?
he's
Commenting
not better
about-
than Eddie Howe.
Commenting
No.
about Oscar Bob.
no,
He said, when I coach players, and I've coached a lot of players, and he has, one thing, you know, you meet players coming from academy or new players, they're like, I play left back, I play center midfield, right? That the best ones he coaches are the ones that want to be on the pitch,
They just want to play.
right? So that now filters into
That
his
was how
concept
Saka-
his
that was
They
how
just
Saka
learn
was-
what it takes
you know,
to
Saka
play
was-
any position they
Saka
put them.
was a winger.
Yeah, it was. A
When-
winger or a left back.
He was a winger.
Okay.
Saka was a winner. He was scoring goals in the youth team. When Arsenal needed a position to be filled in the first team because there was no left back, Saka was brought into the first team to play as a left back. He was willing to play as a left back. He was not a left back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was willing because
Bro,
he just wanted to be on the team.
Yeah, just wanted to be on the pitch.
You don't get position where I never
guys-
play for field. Now only center back
and you,
because I know tall.
and you learn a lot, right? Let's take the predictions. Of course, the predictions on the show today is brought to you by Gigawin. Get on the website, gigawin.io, to be a part of all that stuff. You can actually convert your crypto to, you know, the currency which you used to bet, and that's amazing. Let's start off with Ini. Ini, Tottenham, West Ham, 12:30 game.
Tottenham to win, but both teams to score.
Tottenham to win, both teams to score. Fulham, Aston Villa.
Draw, both teams to score.
Everton away at Ipswich.
Ipswich win or draw.
Do they sack Trondheim this week?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Ipswich win or draw.
Ipswich win or draw.
United, Brentford.
United, Brentford. United to win.
United to win
Yes.
at home. That's an interesting one. Audition for Thomas Frank, I hear. Right. Newcastle, Brighton.
Newcastle win or draw.
Newcastle win or draw. Southampton, Leicester.
Southampton to win. First win this season.
Bournemouth, Arsenal.
Arsenal to win.
Go.
No.
Wolves, Man City.
Man City to win, but Wolves to score.
Liverpool, Chelsea.
Chelsea win or draw.
I think that'll be a very good game. I think a draw.
Yeah, I think it will be a good game.
Very
too.
good game.
I don't know
Forest,
about
Palace.
whether
Forest win or draw.
IBK, let's start with you. Tottenham, West Ham.
Tottenham to win.
Fulham, Villa.
Second half under 2.5.
What's it now I mean?
Yes, now.
Second half under 2.5. Okay, that makes
They
sense.
give you
Yeah.
betting ticket.
But you don't say now everything knife don't they, yam don't they. Go on the website, carry IBK, load them, knock out.
You know, Ipswich Town, Everton.
Home to win in that half.
Home to win either half. Brentford away
Massive
at United.
odds, actually.
Brentford.
Away at United.
Home team over 1.5.
Newcastle, Brighton.
Away over 0.5.
Away over 0.5.
Yeah, Brighton to score.
Just a way to score. Don't stress us at this.
Southampton, Leicester.
Under 3.5.
Bournemouth, Arsenal.
Away win and over 2.5.
Wolves, Man City.
Wolves, Man City. City to win and City over 2.5.
That's an interesting odd.
Yeah.
And that City to score 3 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is Gary O'Neill? Gary O'Neill is still there, right?
Yeah, he might be fired this
That's one.
weekend.
That's one. Him, Lopetegui, and Sean Dykes on the sack watch list.
No, because the guy keeps playing. I hope if he does that, the same
Hag
thing he
he
does
got,
against
right.
City, City
No,
can
Ten Hag
score
has
even
proven
four.
that he has something on Ineos. He has Ineos. He gets something on
You
Ineos.
get- you get person nude.
Yeah, he gave us a new. You showed that. Liverpool, Chelsea.
Both teams to score.
Both teams. to
Banger,
score.
actually.
Forest, Palace.
Forest Palace. Home team to win it half.
By the way, I think Dos Santos is doing a. He's
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
a
Those guys are
the way
incredibly
they use
difficult.
the way they use those players. Right?
Incredibly difficult
Yeah.
to play
Yeah.
against. When they enter that, they are
Those
low
man-
block.
Bro.
And then they very physical.
That Elanga risk.
Bro.
And
Guys.
that Chelsea boy.
He
Like-
All of them are with
Bro,
it.
I don't know
Austin
how.
Odoi.
You know, now Sanchez make them no beat Chelsea. Once when they go find goal, their counter attack is a madness.
mad.
That was Odoi and that boy.
Oh, chill.
Somebody say, 30 container, no fit win for house.
Bro.
Forest Palace.
Forest Palace. I think a very low scoring affair. Who's at home?
Forest.
Forest win.
Forest to win. Liverpool, Chelsea.
I'm like 2 point something.
Liverpool, Chelsea.
Just before we move on from Forest. What's his name? Palace. That kid, Olise didn't sell, give Bayern Munich. That kid's going to be one of the best players in the world.
Bro.
That boy-
I'm just
that
saying.
boy is
I'm
impressive.
just saying.
Generation.
And I think he made the right decision to go to
I'm
Bayern.
just saying. Right.
Made the right decision
Let's
to go
move
to
on.
Bayern.
Liverpool, Chelsea.
Liverpool, Chelsea. Man, that's a tough one. But I think both teams to score is a very, very comfortable pick.
Wolves, Man City.
City to win 4-5-0.
That's
My game come.
Bournemouth, Arsenal.
Arsenal straight win.
This is Raiola magic no work again.
Need a walk.
They're
You
difficult
know
too.
we just won this weekend.
They're difficult too. They can cause you troubles, but Arsenal sabi defend.
Southampton, Leicester.
Southampton, Leicester. Leicester win or draw.
Newcastle, Brighton.
Newcastle, Brighton. Ooh, over 2.5.
United, Brentford.
United, Brentford. Chai. Who they home?
United. But that will not stop anything.
United, Brentford.
Brentford on the score.
United-
1 minute go now for the past 4 games now.
games, yeah.
Brentford win or draw.
Guy.
Brentford,
Brentford
win
win
or
or draw. Yeah.
draw. Ipswich, Everton.
Everton. Ipswich straight win.
Fulham, Aston Villa.
Fulham, Aston Villa.
Are you sure?
Fulham win or draw.
Now lock.
IBK, I beg. Tottenham, West Ham.
Tottenham straight win.
Tottenham, straight win. And of course, be a part of the show as well. Get on our not WhatsApp, actually, Instagram platform. Let us know your predictions as well. We're giving out $5 to 10 users who sign up on Gigawin this weekend, courtesy of the Hindsight Podcast. So predict, just like the guys have done, the score lines in the comment section. And when you sign up, of course, you have to follow Gigawin and follow the Hindsight Podcast as well. Check Gigawin's, check our posts. You'll see Gigawin's Instagram and Twitter page. So follow, and we'll put those $5 in your account. So 10 users. So that's great. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much indeed for making it on the pod, for returning from international break without injuries. IBK,
Always a
Mr. Ineos Monday, and Olak Glorify. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Put your money where your mouth is. wish I could do it like a house beat. Now let's spin. Put your money